Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer from Forge College. Today we're going to pop the hood on the Solana blockchain, really get into its core architecture, and focus on the huge design trade-offs that make it just so incredibly fast. Let's get right into it.
So, let's kick things off with a big question. You've probably heard all the buzz about Solana's speed, right? We're talking thousands of transactions a second. But have you ever really stopped and wondered, how? How does it actually do that? Is it some kind of magic? Well, not quite. The answer is actually way more interesting, and it lies in a series of very deliberate, very clever engineering decisions.
To really wrap our heads around this, I want you to think of Solana less like a typical blockchain and more like a finely tuned, high-performance racing engine, like something you'd find in a Formula One car. And just like with any F1 car, squeezing out that kind of mind-blowing performance doesn't come for free. It means you have to make some really tough choices and accept some pretty significant trade-offs along the way. And that brings us right to the fundamental blueprint of pretty much any blockchain out there, this constant tug-of-war between scalability on one side and decentralization on the other. This is the core conflict, the main dial that engineers have to tune, and almost every other decision flows from this one. So on one hand, you've got scalability. This is all about raw speed, raw power. How many transactions can we possibly cram through the system, and how fast can we do it? Then, on the other hand, you have decentralization. The goal here is to get as many independent people as possible to help run and secure the network. That makes it tough to shut down and resistant to censorship. It's kind of like a classic seesaw, right? Pushing one side up really high often means the other side has to come down.
Okay, so check out how Solana plays this game. First up, leader-driven sequencing. This gives throughput a massive boost because you have one validator, the leader, ordering all the transactions. It's super efficient. The trade-off, you have to place a lot of trust in that leader. Second, parallel execution. This is like opening up a bunch of new checkout lanes at the grocery store. Independent transactions can run all at the same time. Awesome for speed, but it definitely makes things way more complex under the hood. And third, the big one, assuming everyone's using high-performance hardware. This allows for lightning-fast communication, but it also raises the cost to participate, which can naturally limit the number of people who can afford to be a validator.
Okay, so we've seen the high-level blueprint. Now let's get our hands dirty. Let's look inside this engine and see what the actual mechanical parts are, the specific mechanisms that are generating all of this incredible speed. So this is it, Solana's transaction pipeline, and it is built for one thing, pure velocity. First, transactions fly in and their signatures get verified. Next, they're batched together and the system locks the specific accounts they're going to interact with. Step 3 is where the magic happens, that parallel execution we just talked about running across multiple CPU cores at once. And finally, all the results are gathered up and the new block is blasted out to the rest of the network. Every single step here is tuned to shave off every possible millisecond.
Now, the real secret sauce to that parallel execution stage is something called fine-grained locking. Think about a massive traffic jam where a single blocked intersection brings the entire city to a halt. That's kind of what coarse locking does in other systems. Fine-grained locking, though, is like a massive 16-lane superhighway. It only locks the very specific accounts a transaction needs, which allows thousands of other totally unrelated transactions to just zoom right on by without ever having to wait.
But a high-performance engine needs more than just a clever design. It needs premium fuel and it needs specialized maintenance to run at its peak. And in Solana's world, that fuel isn't gasoline, it's hardware. And let's be totally clear here, we are talking about serious hardware. High core count CPUs to handle all that parallel processing, ridiculously fast NVMe solid-state drives for near-instant data access, and super low latency networking. These aren't just, friendly recommendations. The entire software stack is explicitly designed with the core assumption that this powerful hardware is already there.
So what happens if you try to get by without that premium hardware? Well, you run into a nasty problem called back pressure. The best way to picture it is a clogged pipe. Even if you have tons of water pressure, that one little clog slows everything down behind it, right? It's the same in Solana. If one component, say a slow hard drive, can't keep up, it creates a traffic jam that just ripples backward through the entire system, causing delays and a ton of failed transactions.
And this analogy just nails the point home perfectly. The software and the hardware in Solana are incredibly tightly coupled. Trying to run a Solana validator on some cheap, subpar equipment is exactly like putting regular, low-octane gas into a Formula One engine. It's not going to work like it's supposed to, and you're probably going to end up breaking something. Okay, so we've looked at the blueprint, we've peeked inside the engine, we've even talked about the fuel. So what's the big picture? Let's try to distill all of this down into 3 core realities, the key mental models that you should really take away from this.
First up is this idea of throughput as resource exchange. Bottom line, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Solana's absolutely incredible speed is directly bought by making a trade. It consciously exchanges some amount of decentralization and broad accessibility for a much higher number of transactions per second. It's a very calculated bargain.
The second reality is what we can call pipeline coupling. Remember that clogged pipe? Well, this whole system is like an interconnected chain, and a chain is only as strong, or in this case, as fast as its weakest link. A bottleneck in your storage, your networking, or your CPU doesn't just slow down one little part. It creates that back pressure we talked about and causes delays across the entire network. And finally, we have the lock complexity paradox. That amazing multi-lane superhighway of fine-grained locking we mentioned, it is unbelievably powerful, but it is also incredibly complex to build and to manage. Preventing crashes, managing all the on-ramps and off-ramps, and scheduling all that traffic without causing gridlock, it requires a massive amount of really sophisticated logic deep inside the system. More parallelism just means more complexity. So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. In Solana's design, high performance isn't magic. It's the end result of a series of very deliberate, very bold, and sometimes very expensive engineering trade-offs. It's about consciously choosing speed and throughput as the #1 goal. And all of that leaves us with a really critical question to think about. We've seen how these trade-offs are designed for incredible speed. But what about security? When you start to centralize certain roles, like the leader, and you rely on a smaller pool of very high-performance validators, what kind of new and unique security challenges might that create? It's a fascinating question, and one we'll definitely dig into more in the future. This has been an explainer from Forge College. If you want to dive deeper into Solana, Web3, and a ton of other topics, come visit us at forge.college to learn more. Thanks for watching.